You're
listening to Pepp's Funny World. Hello, I'm Pepp, and welcome along to My Funny World. Over the course of this series, I'll be bringing you a selection of entertainers, big screen giggles, sketch shows that make me either smile, giggle, or sometimes laugh out loud that I practically wet myself. This week, it's all about Wireless Funnies.
This is the story of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Perhaps the most remarkable, certainly the most successful book ever to come out of the great publishing corporations of Ursa Minor. More popular than the Celestial Home Care Omnibus, better selling than 53 More Things to Do in Zero Gravity, and more controversial than Ulan Kalufid's trilogy of philosophical blockbusters, Where God Went Wrong, Some More of God's Greatest Mistakes, and Who Is This God Person Anyway?
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a science fiction comedy radio drama series written by Douglas Adams. It originally broadcast on BBC Radio in 1978. The series follows the adventures of hapless Englishman Arthur Dent and his friend Ford Prefect, an alien who writes for the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a pan-galactic encyclopedia and travel guide. The series starred Simon Jones, Geoffrey McGivern, Susan Sheridan, Stephen Moore, and was narrated by Peter Jones. The first series of Hitchhiker's Guide was noted for its unusual concept, out-of-context parodies, seismic and philosophical jokes, and some groundbreaking development of sound effects and voice techniques.
Tell me that we just stuck out our thumbs and some green, bug-eyed monster stuck his head out and said, "Hi, fellas, hop right in. I can take you as far as the Basingstoke roundabout."
Well, the thumb's an electronic sub-ether device. The roundabout's at Barnard Star 6 light years away, but otherwise that's more or less right.
And the bug-eyed monster?
It's green, yes.
Fine. When can I go home?
You can't. Ah, found the light.
Good grief. Is this really the interior of a flying saucer?
It certainly is. What do you think?
It's a bit squalid, isn't it?
What did you expect?
Well, I don't know. Gleaming control panels, flashing lights, computers...
Following the success of his first series on the radio, a second series followed in 1980. Then a re-recording of the first series was released on LP and audio cassettes. Adams himself adapted the first series into his best-selling novel in 1979, and following that success, spawned a further 3 novels, a computer game, and various other media. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and the works of Douglas Adams are regarded highly in the world of comedy, radio and literature, and ranks as 3rd place in my top 5 Wireless Funnies. The series is very funny, playing with the medium of radio, funny voices, witty lines, plus some hilarious philosophical jokes about life, the universe and everything.
The year is 1951. On the BBC Home Service, 4 crazy people debuted in a comedy series that would change British comedy forever.
This is the BBC Home Service. But please don't take it too hard.
Seconds it. Thirds it.
Motion carried.
Huzzah, we're in! This means yet another extraordinary talking type wireless Goon show!
The Goon Show was a British radio comedy series originally produced and broadcast on the BBC Home Service from 1951 to 1960. Initially called The Crazy People, it featured Mr. Harry Seeker, Michael Bentine, Spike Milligan, and the rather bizarre Peter Sellers. The radio series was a mix of ludicrous plots with surreal humour, puns, catchphrases, and an array of bizarre sound effects.
About lifting prop baskets, that's all I know. I don't want to know about it.
And so, they buried the black box 10 feet above the ground. Then Rommel made good his escape in James Mason's car. But I tell you, only just in time. Right then, the British arrived.
Hands up for our I'll draw my rations.
In a decade that had never had it so good, The Goon Show satirised many contemporary elements of life in 1950s Britain, parodying aspects of show business, politics, the military, literature and film. Listeners of The Goon Show would find themselves enthralled with mad adventures with the likes of Major Bloodknock, Hercules Tythone Thorne, Blue Bottle, Eccles, Minnie Bannister, Count Jim Moriarty and none other than Neddy Seagoon.
I'm going to clear my name and get back my self-respect.
Yeah?
I'll join the Navy! No! I'll join the Army!
Why?
It's too damn noisy in the Navy!
Over time, The Goon Show has been described as avant-garde, surreal, fourth-dimensional, and playing games with the medium of radio itself. For instance, whole scenes were written in which characters would leave, close the door behind them, yet still be in the room. The show is said to have inspired the likes of Monty Python's Flying Circus, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Vic Reeves' Big Night Out, The League of Gentlemen, and many other countless strange and bold new comedies. The Goons came together in 1972 for what would be the last Goon Show of all. In attendance was the late Prince Philip and Princess Anne. A royal family being big fans of the series, and in 1993, Spike Milligan received a personal letter from His Royal Highness King Charles III.
As someone who grew up to the sounds of the Goon Show on the steam-driven wireless, I must confess that I've been a lifelong fan of the participants in the show, and particularly of Spike Milligan.
Oh, the little grovelling bastard.
Even though members of the Goon Show are no longer with us, we can still enjoy their classic comedy available on CD and online. Over 238 episodes plus 12 specials. The Goon Show ranks as my number one wireless funny, a bizarre comedy sketch series featuring some quirky characters, some great voices and some bizarre situations.
That was The Goon Show, a specially recorded programme for the 50th anniversary of the BBC, starring Peter Sellers, Harry Seacombe and Spike Milligan. You also heard the Ray Ellington Quartet, Max Geldray, and the orchestra conducted by Peter Knight. Announcer Andrew Timothy, script by Spike Milligan, produced by John Brown.
Next time on Pepp's Funny World, the silly stage.